If you are not a groomer and you are wanting to invest in a pet grooming business, please listen out because this video was made specifically for you. Hey guys, my name is Laura Ventura. I have been a pet groomer for 20 years and I have owned Pawz and All mobile pet grooming and massage for 7 years. I was a pet groomer first and an entrepreneur second, so I understand both worlds and I just want to close that gap. So before investing in a grooming business, please listen to this video and listen carefully. Love a groomer. Let's talk facts. The numbers make sense. So the numbers are numbering, and I just wanna read to you a bit of an article that I read, and I'll link it below. And it pretty much states that the global pet grooming services was valued at $6.89 billion in 2024, and it is expected to grow at an annual rate of 7.33% from 2025 to 2023, reaching $10.35 billion by 2030. A lot of people want a piece of this pie, but before you bite into it, there's some things that you need to know. Number one, loving pets is not enough. Okay, there's a couple of people that have called me that want to invest in this industry because they love dogs and they love cats, but to be honest, you are going to want to shadow a groomer, whether that be a mobile groomer or a groomer at a shop. Please go ahead and work with them, shadow them, assist them, and if you could, please go to grooming school. Even if you don't intend to be a groomer yourself, you just want to run the business and invest in it, you do have to learn the in and outs of this industry, and the only way to do it is to get your hands dirty. You really need to know what goes on behind the scenes, because if you are not going to groom, that means that you are going to be reliant on groomers. And when you go to invest in this business, you might think that your clients are going to be your number one asset, but that is not true. Your groomers are going to be your number one asset. And if you could keep them happy, then they'll keep the pets happy and the clients happy. The reason why I say to shadow a groomer or go to grooming school is because you have to understand what goes on when a groomer goes to groom a dog or a cat. You have to understand the mental and physical capacity it takes, what they actually need. You have to understand timing, so how long it takes to groom a cat or a dog, so you could evaluate pricing. You have to understand the different breeds. Now, if you are going into the mobile world, you also have to learn how to route and schedule efficiently so you don't burn out your groomers. Now, there have been a couple of franchises that have been popping up, and it kills me when franchisors say, oh, well, the van has to be out 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you have to do X amount of dogs. The truth of the matter is that if you're doing that, if you're making your groomers do 8 to 10 dogs a day and they're out for 10-hour days, the quality is going to suffer. We're not washing cars here, guys. We're actually dealing with live animals, and they all come with their personality, their quirks, their likes or dislikes, so it does take time to produce a great result. Now, if you just want to focus on shave downs and you just want to do the most minimal grooming, that's cool too. You can market yourself that way, just do baths and shave downs. But if you really want to dig into quality, you are going to have to understand all the breed standards, the breed cuts, the scissoring, the shaping, all that it takes to have a quality groom. Okay. And also, if you're having your groomers go out for 10 to 12-hour days and do 7 to 8 dogs by themselves, it's just going to be a matter of time till they become extremely unhappy and burn out. And when they do burn out, you're just gonna have a high turnover, and that's gonna cause frustration within your business, within your cash flow, and with your clients. Clients love to see the same groomer come to their house repeatedly because that just builds trust, and the animal eventually gets used to one person. So that's something to think about. Because the groomers are going to be the number one asset to your team, you have to understand who you're gonna hire, what you're going to look for. And if you've never been around groomers, then you're not gonna understand what quality is. So you don't know what you don't know. My advice to you is to get to know your groomers and cater to them. If you have the mentality that you work for them and they don't work for you, you're always gonna win. Again, if you keep your groomers happy, your clients are gonna be happy and the pets are going to be ecstatic to see them. So that's what you want. You don't want a high turnover when it comes to your business. The next piece of advice that I have is to know the difference between an independent contractor and an employee. To be honest, there's a bit of a gray area when it comes to hiring somebody as an independent contractor. You can't really give them a set schedule. There's some rules that you just can't, they don't have to abide to because they're an independent contractor. And to be honest with you, I'm not comfortable in that gray area. This is a very controversial subject. Some people hire on groomers as independent contractors, and to be honest, I do not agree with that. All of my girls are employees. They also get paid an hour a day for extra duties like filling up water, gas, and cleaning and disinfecting the van. They get their commission and then they also get their tips. I do some incentives and I have it never crossed my mind to hire them as an independent contractor. I've personally, in a couple of cases, have seen it get ugly. So I just don't want to go there, and I just make sure that they're employees. There are some businesses that prefer quantity over quality. Which one are you and why? Learn the pros and cons. I personally go with quality. Going back to employees, invest in them. Take them to trade shows, teach them new things, have meetings, go on group outings, go on team building activities, get in the van with them or get in the salon with them one day. Really care about them, because again, if you do not know how to groom and if you're not going to be a groomer, you're at their mercy. You also have to understand that there are going to be slow months. Now, the objective to a grooming business is to have clients on a reoccurring schedule. However, there are going to be slow seasons. These slow seasons are going to be January, February. It picks up in March. April, May, June, July are pretty good. You might feel a little slow season around the summer because people take family vacations then. August is pretty busy. Then when all the kids are going back to school in September, that's when it slows down. October is pretty slow. And then November, December, you're gonna be packed, booked, and busy if you're doing it right. Understand that relationships, not only with, we have already talked about the staff, right? So your groomers, the relationship with your groomers are gonna matter, but the relationships with your clients are going to matter. And you're gonna have to train your groomers to build those relationships with those clients, because once you're able to build a relationship with somebody, that means the world to them, and they're gonna think 3 times before switching over to another company or another groomer. You are also gonna have to understand the maintenance cost of a grooming business. Now, we're using dryers, tables, electricity, water pumps, plumbing. So if you're using that day in and day out, something is bound to break. So you just have to get familiar with a grooming salon setting, what it is that you need to be prepared for. And if you want to go into mobile, that's a whole nother story, because now you have a vehicle or a trailer and a vehicle to take care of. So there comes a learning curve with that. So I see grooming as a sport, and the girls that work with me, I see them as athletes, and I treat this like a sports team. I see my business like that. I feel like in a lot of ways, grooming should be a sport and we should be considered athletes because it is so physical. We even have competitions. It just helps me just know, like, I'm the coach, these are my players, these are my athletes, this is what I need to take care of. And yeah, look, the numbers are numbering. The numbers are there. The pet grooming industry is just going up, okay? Now, I wanna make this video because I get really upset when people's main concern is money and not the pets and not the animals. And again, if we have very good athletes on our team, they are going to take care of our animals. At the end of the day, you could book 10 dogs in a day, have your groomers work 12-hour days, but it's just not going to last. It's not sustainable, and you're going to crash and burn your business if you do that. So I just want you to have the correct mindset when it comes to this. I want you to not only think because you have the money to invest in a business like this that it's gonna be successful. You're gonna have to learn the ropes, and you are going to have to get your hands dirty to do so, and it's totally okay. I hope you guys do it. I hope this video was of value to you. A lot of people call me, wanting to get the scoop on this business and this industry, and I am more than happy to share my 20 years of knowledge. I've learned a lot throughout the years, and I've learned even more becoming an entrepreneur and leading a team. I hope you guys learned something new. Up and out, love and light, Laura Ventura. Bye.